Okay, problem 12, the third problem 12 on the decimal review. This one is on the back side. The problem is write the following in word form and expanded form. 5 and 254 thousandths. So I need to be sure to write in word form as well as an expanded form. So I'm going to have two answers. I'm going to start with word form because I think it's the easiest. Word form is nice because you write it exactly as you would say it, if you are saying it correctly. That's important. For this number, I would say it 5 and 254 thousandths. That's how you should be saying it. If I'm saying it the correct way, word form is very easy. However, if I say instead 5.254, that is not word form. You cannot write it that way. So, it will be incorrect if you write it that way in word form. So I am going to write it the right way. I have 5, that's my whole, 5 and is important because that tells me where the decimal point is. So the decimal is after the 5. So I have 5 and I have 254 thousandths. Now, a couple of things. I know that I am going to have thousandths at the end because the place value of the last number in my decimal is the thousandths. We have tenths, hundredths, and thousandths. Thousandths, that's the last place value, so that's going to be the place value that I say. Now, some people have said, how do you know it's 254 thousandths and not 2 tenths, 5 hundredths, and 4 thousandths? Well, if you think of this as written as a fraction, I would have 5 wholes, and then I would have 254 thousandths. 254 over 1,000th, or over 1,000. So that is how I know that I can say 254 thousandths. That's how you say it. That's how you would write it. This is how you would write it as a fraction. And so you say it exactly as you would say the fraction, 5 and 254 thousandths. Like I said, if you're saying the decimal correctly, then you just write down exactly how you say it. Let's move on to expanded form. I'll use pink for expanded form. So I'm going to erase those because I'll erase my underlines too. I'll use pink for my expanded form. Expanded form, we are looking at the place values. That for me is the easiest way to think of expanded form. I'm looking at the place values. So I'm going to start with my biggest place value, which in this case is the ones. So how many ones do I have? Well, I have 5. I have 5 ones. 5 times 1. I have 5 ones. Now, technically, if we're looking at order operations, we don't need brackets. I put the parentheses or brackets just because it helps me see what is grouped together. The ones, we have 5 ones, those are grouped together. Now I'm going to add, because we also have 2 tenths. So again, I'm going to put in parentheses so that I know that these are grouped together. I have 2 what? Well, 2 1/10ths, 2 tenths. Now, moving on, I'm going to add the next place value. I have 5 hundredths. I have 5 what? 5 times what? Well, 5 times 100, 5 hundredths. Then I need to add the last place value, which is thousandths. So I have 4 thousandths. So again, the reason Expanded form looks a lot more difficult than it is. It looks difficult because it's long, and it's got parentheses and fractions and whole numbers. But really, if you look at each place value individually and you say, well, ones, the ones place value, I have 5 ones. Okay, tenths, the tenths place, I have 2 tenths. Hundredths, the hundredths place, I have 5 hundredths. And then thousandths, the thousandths place, I have 4 thousandths. Then that makes it, that's the easiest way for me to understand expanded form.